Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Bills, Texans, Thursday night football. Massive game for the Bills. Coming off a big time win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be a struggle for the Bills defense today, though, even with Davis Mills starting. That's my biggest concern. This Bills defense, the run defense especially, just cannot hang right now in the NFL. The pass defense has gotten better. Keep in mind, last week, the Buccaneers, they didn't have Godwin, they didn't have Mike Evans. So, how much can we really, use last week as an example? But they shut down Ibuka, who's been a very good receiver. I'm sure it helps when he has better players playing with him. When he's the number one receiver, that's kind of tough. And they shut down Kate Otten, who's definitely a solid option as a tight end. So I think it was a vast improvement on the Bills' pass defense, but the run defense just continues to look miserable. How's it going, everybody? Victor, Elijah, Smooth Gaming, how are you guys doing? I'm feeling good though. I mean, this is a very winnable game for the Bills, and if they could win today, we can sit on Sunday, have a grand old time, enjoy a meal, have some drinks, and watch Red Zone. Root against the Patriots, as always. That's what we're gonna have to do the rest of the way. The rest of the season, we're gonna have to root against the Patriots. But at the end of the day, I'll continue to say it. I don't care about the division this year. We've done it 5 years in a row. It hasn't really helped us out. Let's just make the playoffs, and a win today would go a long way in that. Let me know how you guys are feeling today. You guys got the Bills winning? You guys got the Texans winning? Let me know. Again, Davis Mills starting for the Texans certainly puts a damper in their hopes, but doesn't end them. Texans in their bright red jerseys, Bills in the all whites. A nice jersey combo for sure. Elijah's got the Bills beating them. Need for Speed, how's it going? How's it going? He says, "Are you ready for some football? Remains a better lead-in tune. Can we all agree with that?" Definitely. Got to get hyped up. And it's always those intros too. It's always, yeah, a couple weeks before the season, everyone makes those videos like, "What's your favorite intro? What's your favorite jingle?" And man, just gotta get you fired up. Using that Sabres goal horn for the Bills touchdown. I don't think we're gonna do that today, but we'll see what we could do in the future. It's just the logistics of getting that in here. We'll get that going in the future though. Maybe that'll be a playoff special, Elijah. We'll get that going for the playoffs. The only issue with doing that is I don't control the scoreboard, so I wouldn't really know when to stop talking, start talking, all that sort of stuff. We'll figure it out though. Natural nerves before a game. Yeah, I just can't have it like this, that Miami game, right? And I think the Bills should be able to avoid any disasters today. It's a short week for both teams. Usually on short weeks, the better team wins. And that, usually once in a while there's anomalies, but the better team usually wins on short weeks. And I think the Bills have a more talented roster. I think they have a better offense. I think they have not a better defense, but close enough where I think their offensive ability will push them over the edge. And the biggest difference is quarterback today. Davis Mills has looked decent this season, but he's no Josh Allen. Yeah, I gotta keep the Sabres away from the Bills. Yeah, Sabres got a. Let's just say if they lose tomorrow, we might be in for another miserable season. How's it going, Prime? Yeah, Yeah, the Sabres, I don't even know. We'll make a video on them after this week. We'll see what happens, but they are just same old, and I know they're injured, and I'm trying to get them the benefit of the doubt. That's why I haven't been spewing too much Sabres content because everything I have to say about the Sabres could be erased in a matter of weeks when they get Norris back, when they get Zucker back, when they get Benson back. So I don't want to overreact, and this team can maybe go on a 5-game win streak and put themselves back in because the East is a blender right now. Let's not overreact. Maybe a win tomorrow gets us back feeling good. The schedule doesn't appear too difficult next month in December. So I haven't jumped on Kevin Adams yet. I haven't jumped on the team or anyone, Lindy Ruff. I haven't jumped on Alex Tuck for playing lazy this year yet because there's a lot of injuries. So I'm taming myself, which is something I haven't done in the past. But yeah, this is going to be a big game for the Bills. I think you got to continue throwing the football. We saw that last week. Keon Coleman being a scratch, Curtis Samuel also being an inactive player, him more so for injury, and Mecole Hardman headed to the IR. I found it shocking with Kincaid out as well, another receiver basically on the team. Um, Getting Keon Coleman out again is very interesting. They use the excuse that, oh, it's a short week and we'll try to get him back in next week when there's more time to rework him into our game plan. But it's a real telling thing when your former practically first round pick. I mean, let's be honest. When he's benched 2 weeks in a row, that just cannot happen. And you got to respect Brandon Bean at least and Sean McDermott for being able to say, "Hey, look, like we might have made a big mistake, but we're not going to let him continue to cost this team." And they're going to try to find a way for him to work into the offense. And I think there are ways, right? I think there certainly are ways to better use Keon Coleman instead of just throwing him on sideline and fade routes and hoping it works because it doesn't. So I think they're going to try to figure it out with him. And for the time being, we got Josh Palmer and Gabe Davis covering the middle of the field. 5-game winning streak. Yeah, you never know. Victor, oh, 100%. Samuelson he's been their best defensive player this year, and I'm not even joking about that. He's been great. Keep in mind this game is on Amazon Prime. If you're in the Buffalo area, I think it's on Channel 7. So if you guys want to watch along, got Al Michaels on the call as well as Kirk Herbstreit and Kaylee Hartung on the sidelines. The Texans need this game too. They've been hanging in there. They're in the playoff conversation. They're hoping they can get healthy, but CJ Stroud out again this week with a concussion. Their secondary is injured a little bit as well. Ray Davis, captain for the coin toss. Whew. You'll shave your head and cut your ear off if they pay Tuck 11 and a half. I don't think you got to worry about that. I've been told that the Sabres are not entertaining anything over 11 million right now for Alex Tuck, which I would agree with. I mean, come on. This team is not in a position to spend that kind of money on a guy playing like Alex Tuck is right now. Elijah, I would like a New York Knicks emote. That's a good idea. Tuck is going to be traded. Yeah, I think so. All right, so looks like the Bills are going to receive the kick. Thank you guys for being here on a Thursday night. Oh, it's the Bills are going to kick. Okay. Again, Houston in their red uniforms. They got the black and red, almost goat head like logo at center field. Prater kicks it to the top side of the field, fielded at the 2. And great special teams by the Bills. Wrapped up Sam Franklin Jr. Who else on the tackle? Right at the 22. He's been electric this year. Sam Franklin Jr., one of those guys who is only on the team for special teams, and he does a darn good job at it. 2-0, Davis Mills coming in to play quarterback. And I'll make this note before the game starts. Well wishes to CJ Stroud. Hopefully he can get healthy and rebound his career because he's someone with a ton of talent that's just really struggled this year. First place from scrimmage. It's going to be play action. Dump off to the tight end. He drops it. Incomplete. Cage Stover, the backup tight end, dropped that one. It probably would have been a 3-yard gain. Kind of a safe play call to get going for the Texans, but that's a rough drop. Now that sets them at 2nd and 10. Sawyer, how's it going? Second and 10. Mills is going to hand it off up the middle, and there goes that Bills run defense again. Maybe a 5 to 6 yard carry up the middle. Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, the dynamic duo for the Texans this season. Woody Marks, kind of a surprising factor on this team. No one expected him to play as good as he did. He's had 100 rushes so far this year for 354. Rookie year for him. Yeah, Elijah, lucky jersey number. 3rd and 4. Davis Mills in the pocket. Big time play for this Bills defense. Let's see if they get off the field. No pressure. They're going to throw it up top, and it's overthrown. No flag. Tre'Davious White on the coverage. Good coverage by him, but the throw is really bad from Davis Mills. If it was on the money, it could have been. But good job by Joey Bosa as well. Bosa and Rousseau hit Davis Mills right as the ball was being released, so forced that throw to be inaccurate. But a good job by Tre'Davious White down the field as well. And the Bills will force a punt, 3 and out. So I just said I'm worried about this defense this game. Good start. Tommy Townsend, the former Chief, of course, punting the ball off. Be fielded at the 30. Shakir has plenty of room to take it. He's going to walk out of bounds at the 36, but there's a flag. I don't know how we commit a flag on that play, but didn't look like anyone was near Shakir at all. But that'll probably set the Bills back 10 yards from the spot. Is that Hancock? Yeah. Hancock on the hold. It's just absolutely cannot hold. I said that in my short for the keys of the game. You cannot lose the penalty battle in this game. You're the better team. Play smart football. I know it. You know, a lot of people overlook, but these special team penalties are killers. And it's one of those plays where there's no reason to hold down the field. If the guy beats you, somebody else is going to pick him up before he gets to the return man. It's not worth the hold. So that'll set the Bills, instead of being at like the 37-yard line, good field position, they're going to be all the way back at their own 19. Single back formation. Palmer in motion. We're going to start with a handoff to Cook up the middle. 4-yard gain. So James Cook, after having one of the least productive weeks of his career last week, getting a touch early on here. And it wasn't a bad thing that he was not very productive from the run game, because he was very effective in the passing game. And the Bills actually started using their running backs in the passing game. And that's something I've been calling for and pounding the table for all season long. Shakir in motion. Looks like the same sort of play, but this time it's going to be play action. Allen scrambles, and he throws it drop by Dawson Knox right on the sidelines. A little bit of a tough catch for Dawson Knox. The throw was a little bit behind him, but let's take a look at the replay and see if that was on Dawson Knox or if it was just a bad throw. Yeah, kind of a rough throw. Should have set his feet maybe a little bit better, but now it's going to be 3rd and 6. Knox was open, though, so can't blame Dawson Knox on that. 3rd and 6. You know it's going to be a throw. Ty Johnson in the game, of course, to block. It's going to be thrown to Shakir, and he goes down a yard short. But there is a flag. But they're going to say illegal man downfield on the Bills. That'll probably be declined. And it'll be a 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do. Yeah, Drake May's been good this year, though, Elijah. He has. So they say no flag, but it will be 4th and 1. So the Bills could technically try a QB sneak, but they're at their own 30, so it'd be risky. I mean, the odds you get it are very, very high, but and this is shocking. The Bills are actually keeping the offense on the field at their own 29-yard line. And here comes Reggie Gill. Yeah, so it looks like they're going to try the tush push. And why not, right? You average about 1.5 yards on it. It looks like you're short by a half yard. I mean, it's a ballsy play, but Tim Settle lined up over the center, the former Bill. They're motioning Gilliam. And they're going for it, and Allen jumps across the line and gets it. A dangerous play early on in the game. He Superman dove with a smile on his face as he gets up. I thought for sure that was going to be a hard count. And Elijah, yeah, just for you, Pepsi. It's almost December, so we'll get that eggnog out for you then. But Pepsi, just for you. 1st and 10. Bills. I mean, that's a little uncharacteristic, huh? 1st and 10. Speaking of characteristic, a handoff up the middle for no yards. So they got a little creative, they got a little bold, and now they're going, all right, settle down. Let's just hand the ball off. Yeah, Victor. Yep. 2nd and 10. So I haven't liked the play calling so far this game at all, besides going for it on that 4th down. That's, more than likely you're going to get that. Shavers in motion. It's going to be a throw, and he had Shavers open. Now he doesn't get it to him. It's going to be a delayed throw to Cook. Makes a couple guys miss, and then falls down gain of 1. Be 3rd and 9. So a long developing play. He actually probably could have threw it to the blocker Shavers early on in that, which would have been a bigger gain. I don't really like that play design at all, because by the time they got it to Cook, there was 3 defenders over there and 1 blocker. 3rd and 8. Ty Johnson back. It's going to be a screenplay to him. Good blocking ahead. He's got the 1st down and more. Gain of around 15 yards. Gabe Davis with a nice edge block, and that's a good play call. Stack them down low. Throw your swing route to Ty Johnson, who has, bursts of speed that he can utilize. You caught the Texans on the blitz, too. There you go. Shout out Joe Brady on that play. As much garbage as we've given him the last couple of weeks, I think he's slowly making up for it. That's a heads-up call. Here we go. 1st and 10. Gilliam's in the game, in motion. They're going to fake it. Now it's going to be a throw wide open as Dawson Knox. Across the field, it's going to be around 9 to 10 yards. I think they marked him short, and they did. So a 9-yard gain from Dawson Knox. Another very nice play call. The tendency when the fullback, Reggie Gilliam, is in the game is it's a run. And everyone was fooled on that play, sent the tight end Dawson Knox the other way, was wide open for a 9-yard gain. And Josh Allen giving his signals behind his back. 2nd and inches now. Now you probably see the Cook run up the middle, but this is a play from midfield. Chuck that thing into the end zone. And they are going to fake it. and they're going to go deep, and it's incomplete. Josh Palmer, the ball was behind him. So now it's 3rd and inches, but so what, right? You took your shot. Now you could run it up the middle for your 1 yard gain. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard, there was a little controversy going on with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid and something in the locker. If you guys haven't looked at it, you guys got to check out WGR. Somebody got a scoop on that, but I don't want to go into detail. I forget what it was really about, but something was going on. 3rd and inches. And now they run it to Cook. Cook patiently runs it up the middle. And now he finds a hole. There he goes. Oh, no way. James Cook. How about that? Everyone in the stadium knew that was going to be a run up the middle, except for the Texans defense, I guess. And James Cook, on an 81-yard drive, finishes the job. Heck of a job by this entire offense. Going for it on 4th and 1 from your own end. Great job by James Cook. Reggie Gilliam on that block. Look at him. And Jackson Hawes picking up another one. That's just good football right there. Oh, yeah. And Matt Prater misses the extra point. Whatever. Whatever. Again, if you guys, I don't really, encourage gambling, but James Cook, anytime touchdown, it seems like a constant. This is a very good Texans defense, too. So that is a good sign. They were able to move the ball. The run game got going. The pass game was there, too. Shout out Joe Brady. Improvements. Little by little. So now we'll see if the Bills defense can make another stand. Can they start stacking, defensive stands together? Yeah, Matt Prater is getting up there in age, and he's missed a couple so far this season. Had that big miss off the upright against the Chiefs. It makes you start to wonder, right? You got Tyler Bass kind of looming in the background. I know the reports are, oh, he's not ready, he's still injured. Let's be honest, he's ready to go, right? It's the Bills deciding that Matt Prater's their guy until he's not. And how soon do we see Tyler Bass re-enter himself into the locker room if Matt Prater starts to kind of decline later on in the year? Because it's one thing to hit, warm weather field goals in September, but as the weather gets colder, those balls start going a little less far. Could we see Matt Prater really start to struggle? Could we see the downfall of Matt Prater? If that's the case, you don't want to go into a high leverage game in December with a kicker that isn't really that reliable. So maybe Tyler Bass does find himself back on this team. Again, it's going to be play by play. We'll have to see how they're doing in practice. But once Tyler Bass starts practicing again, I think it's very much on the table. And they're showing the highlights of that disgusting 2019 wildcard game where the Texans won in overtime. And if you guys don't think sports are rigged, watch that game. The Bills scored a touchdown right out of the half break, a kickoff that the Texans didn't touch. The Bills got it, touchdown. All of a sudden, these special agent CIA referees came onto the field and overturned it. Most bizarre thing I've ever seen in the game of football. So that should have been a win for the Bills. They ended up choking that game, but they would have been up by a lot of points if that touchdown didn't get overturned. Wow, Reginald is in Houston. How's it going? Definitely a good drive. Big time return. All the way past the 40 for the Texans. Good return there. Dalton Schultz. Yeah, I think Tyler Bass. I think we'll see him eventually. Yeah, I think if we see a couple more missed kicks these next couple of weeks, I think we're due. And I think Matt Prater has already done enough for us Bills fans with that Week 1 game winner. 1st and 10 from the 41. Davis Mills handoff up the middle, and oh boy. 6-yard gain for Nick Chubb up the middle. Bills read it correctly, but again, under this McDermott defense, the run defense has never been good, and it just seems like the linebackers are the main problem. They're never choosing the right run gaps. You got the D-line ready for it. The blitzers are ready for it. The secondary is usually somewhat there, but the linebackers they're never just there, right? They always pick the wrong spot, and a safety has to crash down, or a defensive lineman has to turn around. They ended up giving Chubb 7 on that carry. I don't know about that, but okay. The 2nd and 3 play. Why not run up the middle again, right? 1st down, 5-yard gain. Past the midfield already. Nick Chubb again. Yeah, UB basketball. How about it? How about UB basketball? 5-0, and they are a force to be reckoned with. Play action and good coverage downfield. Maybe not. Higgins on the catch. Jaden Higgins. It looks like he might be a millimeter short of the 1st down. He's 2nd in inches. Long developing play action there. Bills defense, they had the underneath covered. I believe that was Shaq Thompson. But it was Cole Bishop in the deeper zone who was fooled a little bit. Terrell Bernard. And now they're going to give him the 1st down, where they spotted the ball, it was short, but I'm not going to argue over a millimeter. It probably actually helps the defense if you give them the 1st down there and don't give them a free play or two. Play action. Mills. Way downfield. Oh, incomplete. Bad throw by Davis Mills. Christian Benford dove for it and tried to intercept it, but that was near nobody. 2nd and 10. I mean, Sawyer, I agree with you there. As somebody who doesn't go to Canisius, I think they should absolutely look to bring that basketball team lower. 2nd and 10 play, it's going to be a run, and a couple missed tackles, and 11-yard gain for Woody Marks. Looked like it was going to be a loss, but again, the Bills cannot tackle. 1st down, Texans. Let's see, who missed the tackle? Mathis. Or Ogunjobi, actually. Ogunjobi. And Bernard was there too, and just, again, linebackers missing running backs in the backfield. It's a consistent problem with this team. That's where the main problem stems from. The linebackers not reading the run correctly. What should have been a loss of 1 is now a 1st down. Pitch out wide. And there's a big hole. Woody Marks. 16-yard gain. 1st and goal. So this Texans offense, they've decided that they know what they're doing, right? Hand it off, hand it off, hand it off. Why not? Bills defense got all tripped up over each other. left the whole top side open for Woody Marks. Taron Johnson ran into Joey Bosa, and Bosa got a hand on him, but that ain't going to do the job. First and goal. Handoff up the middle, and finally the Bills defense all over. It's Greg Rousseau. Good play. Second and goal. So the Texans are not a very good red zone team. If you're the Bills, you got to know that. You got to know that there might be a lack of creativity down here. They might want to simplify things. So look for that run up the middle. And if that's not what they're doing, there's not too far you can go back. It's going to be an out wide throw, incomplete, intended for Knoll. Harrison was on the coverage, and even if he did catch it, I think it would have been a gain of 1. So there's your simple play right there that the Texans couldn't execute. Third and goal. Now you know it's a pass, so the Bills can kind of play those flats up top, play cover 2, and maybe have a linebacker, watching Mills just in case he decides to take it in himself. This is where you want to be as a defense. You know exactly what's coming. You know it's a pass. They're from the 6-yard line. There's not much space for the offense to really do anything too creative. Mills to the end zone. It's incomplete. Taron Johnson on the coverage. The camera was fooled by that. They thought it was going to the middle of the field. It ended up being a pass right near the pylon. We'll take a look at it now, intended for Kirk. Right through his hands. So the camera fooled me there too. If they would have shown that, it would have looked a little more worrisome. So now it's going to be Kiami Fairbairn. 24-yard field goal. His first game back in 2. That one, as easy as it gets. Good field goal. And a good stand for the Bills defense. So the Bills defense continues to play decent in the red zone. Their biggest issue is when they have the whole field to guard, and their run defense really lacks. But now it's only a field goal game because of Matt Prater's missed extra point. So we're still not feeling too comfortable, but certainly a good start. And I think the pass defense is still good. It's just that run defense. But the Texans have certainly learned from that drive that they're going to be able to abuse that running game all game long. And if you're the Bills, you got to adjust for that. I know the Bills don't like to blitz on early downs, but you might have to start because the Texans are going to keep running that ball until they prove they can't. You just can't get burned by that play action, right? If you send them, you got to get there before somebody gets wide open downfield. As far as the Bills' offense goes, I mean, that was one explosive run play by James Cook, but other than that, it was a very slow, methodical drive. They didn't really try anything too far downfield. Maybe they'll try that in this drive. Josh Allen didn't miss a throw to Dawson Knox on the run. That's been a thing where I'll continue to say it's repetition, right? If you're not allowing Josh Allen or no one's getting open downfield when he's on the run, if you're not having those in-game reps, it's really hard to hit those throws in game. So I think until he starts making a few more of those throws in the game, I think we're going to continue to see his inaccuracy pop up when he's on the move. But in the pocket, he's been accurate so far. So underwhelmed by the D tackles and Bernard lately. Sanders doesn't disengage well. Yeah, Sanders, keep in mind, still a rookie. We can't judge him too harshly, but yeah, him and Landon Jackson are big X's on my board right now. Why the heck did we draft them? I don't know. Pepsi Banana. Yeah, if they score on every possession, we should be good, right, Victor? Yeah, Victor, I think the Texans have struggled on both sides of the red zone, defense and offense. So the kickoff, fielded right at the goal line. Ty Johnson waited a second. Now he's going to take it out. There's a flag. He gets tackled at the 21, but there's a flag, so this might be terrible field position. And as much as I don't really want to see Mecole Hardman back on this team because of his fumble, without him, the return game for the Bills is going to be rough, and that was an example of it. And yeah, hold on the return team. So terrible starting field possession for the Bills now. They said it was on number 35. I don't know who that would be because that was Jimmy Charlo. I don't know if that's someone they called up. First and 10, it's going to be a handoff to Cook, and he stumbles forward for around 5. Good recovery after getting hit at the line of scrimmage. Again, if you guys are in here, just be sure to hit that like button. Helps us out a bunch. And thank you guys for all the support. Again, I'll continue to stream as much as possible. The Sabres, we were supposed to do every game, but they decided to get injured. All their players decided to get injured, so I know you guys don't really want to watch them when none of their best players are playing. Wide receiver screen to Shakir. Going to be a loss of 2. So it looks like the Bills so far in this game, especially this drive, have reverted back to their simplified offense. And now we have a 3rd and long. Yeah, Ray Davis did have some good returns. Mecole Hardman had that good one too, but something tells me that was just a Tampa Bay thing. Like maybe Tampa Bay's return defense was pretty porous because it seemed every time somebody touched the ball against Tampa Bay, they were gone for a good amount of yardage. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was more of a Tampa Bay bad than a Bills return good. 3rd and long. See what the Bills can do. Oh boy. So now the Bills are going to have to call a timeout. They took Shakir off the field just to check him for a concussion, potentially. Um, Looking at the replay, they might just be concerned about whiplash or something. Shakir's kind of shaking it off. But Shakir's going to head into the medical tent just to check. Hopefully that's not a concussion. Doesn't appear to be. It seems like they were kind of like a little confused by why they're having to check him out. But without him on the field, and without Keon Coleman activated, I don't know what we're going to do if Shakir cannot go the rest of the game. So 3rd and 6. Allen has all day. No, watch out behind him. Gets sacked. Oh, no. And Allen's grabbing his hand, and Allen is injured. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. From bad to worse for the Bills. Allen is hurt. And Mitch Trubisky's getting ready. What hand is injured here? Oh, he didn't fumble. I think one of his fingers got rolled up on the hit, and he pops right back up. 4th and 4. The Bills will have to punt it. He appears to be fine. And I think he was grabbing his left hand, even if it was an injury. And he just said, I'm fine. So quite the scare. Maybe a little bit of the wind knocked out of him. Didn't expect that hit. But 4th and 4, and Wishnowski's going to have to punt it from his own 5. It's a hold of that one. Fair caught at the 34. Good punt from Wishnowski. Indoor, so we expect a lot of good punts today. But the Bills avoid disaster. The last thing you want is Allen going down. I think, that's pretty obvious. Just looking at the chat now, I agree with all you guys freaking out, but it looks like he's going to be fine. I don't think we got to worry too much. I don't know if it was. Yeah, we'll see though. It could have been a sprain of some sort. I mean, those injuries can linger. Maybe a dislocation somewhere, maybe a finger that just gonna have to just pop back in. I don't know exactly what it was, but he was holding a hand, and it was the hand that didn't have the ball in it. But I can't remember if he was pump faking. I mean, you'd assume he had the ball in his right hand, pump faking, but I don't know. Yeah, so not good. I mean, again, they pull Shakir off the field for no reason. It didn't look like he hit his head, and that forced the Bills to call a timeout. And then they don't have a good play call picked out, and Allen gets hurt. I mean, that was just a mess. But uh, so here is a drive that you're actually okay if the Bills defense, kind of don't get the 3-and-out, because you'll give Allen more time to recover. You'll give the training staff more time to clear Shakir to re-enter. So you might have to take one for the team. But I don't know. That's tough. Screen pass killed the whole drive. Yeah, I don't know why they continue to do the same 4 plays over and over again. Yeah, Lamar Jackson hurt again. This happened a couple times in his career where he just randomly pops up on the injury report and misses a week or two. So this might be another one. I think if he scrambles, he gets the first and avoids getting rocked there. Yeah, something we've seen from Allen, a little more hesitancy this year, right? Like he doesn't want to like air it out, and he doesn't really want to scramble, so he gets caught in between, and that's where you get popped. And he's a couple times this year, but he doesn't look like he's got any medical staff by him on the bench. Nothing, no tape on the wrist. 1st and 10 play, a 3-yard gain up the middle by Chubb. Yeah, screenplay's got to stop. I'm okay with the running back screens or the long developing ones where you got blockers, but these stupid little wide receiver screens, if you're going to do that, just toss the ball up top, and it's the same thing as an outside run. And Josh Allen, I'd argue that his worst quality is his accuracy on screenplays. Right? How many times have we seen him spike it on the ground? 2nd and 6, empty backfield. Mills airs it up top. Wide open, but incomplete. Oh, boy. Jaden Higgins was wide open. And Davis Mills mixed up a little bit. Thought he was going to keep running up. He sat in the zone and threw it away. Bills got some pressure on him. That definitely helped out. But Tre'Davious White fell down on the play. That's why he was wide open. But Bills defense gets very lucky there. Daquan Jones on the pressure. So shout out Daquan Jones, potentially saving a touchdown, getting through. 3rd and 6. They're going to throw it down low and very soft coverage. Tre'Davious White again gets cooked, but they're going to say incomplete. Higgins again. They're going to say he only got 1 foot down. Let's take a look at this. I thought maybe incomplete too. Let's take a look. I don't know. Let's see. 1 foot. Yeah, out of bounds. Well, Tre'Davious White twice this drive gets bailed out. And now 4th and 6, the Texans. Another 3 and out. Their second of the day. They'll have to punt it back to the Bills. And remember what I said about not wanting a 3 and out here? I think we're going to be good because Allen's throwing the ball. And Khalil Shakir is going to be the returner. So the Bills are all healthy. We're ready to go. That's what the Bills said. They said, all right, we're injured right now. We're going to punt it, give it right back to us in about a minute. Townsend on the punt. Shakir will catch it at the 12. No, he's going to let it go. And that one, oh, curves. What a punt. Fielded at the 4. Bounced at the 2 and took a crazy bounce. Tommy Townsend, known for his unique spins that he puts on the punts. That one was like an all-star. Wow. Bounced right at the 2-yard line and took a little spin. I mean, that's magnificent. So, again, bad field position for the Bills. Yeah, Hairston is playing. Looks like they're rotating him in and out. Which, before we freak out and say, Tre'Davious White sucks, why do we have Hairston not in? They're slowly working Hairston in, right? This on a short week. Keep in mind Hairston coming off a gruesome knee injury. You want to, make sure he stays healthy. That's the biggest thing. So if you got to play Tre'Davious White a little bit more than you want to, it's for a good reason. The matchup. It's going to be a run to Cook. He's got a little bit of space. 1-yard gain, though. Didn't make much of it. So we got update Shakir, no concussion. He's all good. Josh Allen, they said turf burn. So they did wrap his wrist up, but just turf burn. So that's not going to affect his throwing at all. The only thing that's going to do is if he takes a hit, if he gets sacked, if he has to slide, if he scrapes that wrist at all, it's going to be painful, but I don't think it's going to affect his performance at all. More of a personal problem for him. 2nd and 9. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Allen has all day to throw. He's going to go deep. Wide open. There he is. Grape Davis. First down. 15-yard pass. Welcome back, Mr. Davis. It's so good to see him back in a Bills uniform and playing good so far, too. And what a route. Nice little curl route. Oh, yeah. Something the Bills haven't had since the good team where they had Gabe Davis. And I'm not saying Gabe Davis is a good route runner. I'm just saying it. Cook up the middle now. There's a good gain of 6, and that'll take us to the end of the first. Bills 6. Texans 3, and uh-oh. Deion Dawkins now with the athletic trainers on the sidelines. That's not good. So we'll see if Deion Dawkins is back on the field when we start the second. He was out of play. Tre'Davious White, yeah, I mean, couple mistakes early, but he hasn't been caught yet. So good start for the Bills overall. Backup left tackle. Yeah, I don't know who they'd put in, if it's Van Granger or Vandemark or Alec Anderson. It didn't look like he was too injured. It just looked like they were kind of talking to him about something. I don't know if they had to check something, but yeah, I think he'll be okay. We'll see if he's back out there. Yeah, everyone spam that Denmark flag. Have to get that line of scrimmage one on both sides of the ball. Yeah, and I think even more importantly, on the defensive side of the ball, right? Got to win that line of scrimmage. And the run game hasn't been good, but on the passes, you got to give them credit. They're getting pressure, which is forcing Davis Mills, an inexperienced quarterback, to kind of panic and overthrow his guys. Equipment fake could be. Second down and 4 is going to be play action. Wide open. That's Jackson Hawes, first down and more along the outside. And I don't think Deion Dawkins was in on that play, so something to monitor. They're going to say evaluated for a concussion. Oh, boy. So, yep, there he is. Ryan Vandemark. One of my favorite players on the team. So, shout out Vandemark. First and 10, handoff to Cook. Cuts it up top. He's got some space. There he goes. 10 yards, 15 yards, out of bounds. Good job by James Cook to adjust there, see the middle was clogged, and bounce that outside for a big gain. Past midfield. And Vandemark set the edge good on the down side. Quick screen to Elijah Moore. He's going to try to cut it outside. He's got no space. There's a flag. This might be a disaster play. Loss of 2, but we'll check the flag. Might be a hold. Deion Dawkins says he is good. He's coming back in the game. He's fine. So whoever's checking these concussions is doing a good job. They're really monitoring this game. Maybe because it's a primetime game, they got more eyes on it. So they say no foul on the play, whatever, loss of a couple. Here we go, another wide receiver screen that didn't work. What do you know? Vandermark from your alma mater. Good old UConn. UConn getting a little better at football. Got to give them credit. Second and 13. Ray Davis in the game. Deion Dawkins is back out there. Going to be a throw to the middle, caught by Josh Palmer. Gain of 10. So we'll have a third and 3. So there's Josh Palmer making an impact on this game. Third and 3. Third and 3, fakes the handoff, wide open to Shakir, and the throw is behind him. And Al Shire makes the tackle, and now it's a 4th and 2. You got to assume the Bills stay out there. That was a good play call, Allen, just not a good throw out wide. And Shakir had to kind of stutter and wait for it, and that cost him the first down. 4th and 2. I wouldn't mind the same exact play call, maybe to the other side. They're going for it, though. 4th and 2. Second, 4th down opportunity for the Bills that they're going to try. Shakir in the backfield. This is a funky formation. Allen just going to throw, and it's deep, wide open. Ty Johnson makes the catch. And he rolls out of bounds. First down. So how about that? Ty Johnson lined up out wide. They lost him downfield. There we go. Beautiful throw. Rolled out of bounds at the 15-yard line. I think he had Josh Palmer over the middle, too. So good play call. Handoff now to Ty Johnson. He gets rocked in the backfield. Loss of 3. And Tim Settle on the tackle. Former Bill. Which, ironically, Tim Settle sucked on the Bills, but has been really good since leaving the Bills. Quentin Jefferson, same sort of story. Interesting how these guys leave the Bills and have become very good players, where on the Bills they were kind of irrelevant. 2nd and 12. Got to assume it's a throw. Cook in the backfield, and oh boy. Nope, Bills are actually going to get it off. Allen. Oh boy, he's going to take a sack, and he's way back. Will Anderson finally gets a sack. You knew it was coming. Nothing got open there. That was one of those typical Bills plays where he's got the time. It's just nothing gets open or he doesn't see anyone. And he had to panic. So now it's 3rd and very long. Probably try a runner screen and take your field goal. See what happens. VIP tie, VIP nevermore. 3rd and 22. See if they try to get a little bit here. If they go for the end zone, you could. Empty backfield. Just get the snap off, and Allen, he's got time, and he ducks around a guy. Now he's just going to chuck it. Oh, drop by Shakir. Would have been a gain of maybe 7, but Allen mad about that. 4th and 22. Here we go, Matt Prater. Come on. We need one. Yeah, no one open. He could have hit Shakir. It wouldn't have got him the first down, but it would have made the field goal easier. Now it's a difficult field goal, but they're indoors. 44-yard attempt. Dead center. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Matt Prater redeems himself after a missed extra point. 9-3. All things considered, a good start for the Bills. Not a bad drive. I think the biggest thing for the Bills there is you got to avoid these negative plays, the sacks, the wide receiver screens. Keep the ball moving forward. That would be my only critique. Yep, time for the defense, and we'll have to see what the defense has in store if they continue to challenge the Texans to throw the ball downfield, or if they adjust their game plan a little bit. Total yards 157 to 64. Davis Mills only 10 yards passing. Yeah, that's not very good. But with that being said, they're a touchdown away from taking the lead. The Bills' schedule going forward is not terrible. Steelers, Bengals, then the Patriots, Browns, then the Eagles, then the Jets. So if the Bills could find a way to win this game, playoffs are certainly starting to look like a very achievable object. The Texans, on the other hand, a little bit tougher of a stretch. Colts and Chiefs the next 2 weeks after the Bills. Tough. Speaking of the Colts and Chiefs, that's going to be the game to watch this week. Prater kicks it off, fielded at the 5. And great tackle by Gilliam and Joe Andreessen at the 23. Yeah, playoff probabilities, here it is. With a win, the Bills 98%. With a loss, 87%. Still doable. Still very doable, but sets them back. Texans with a win, 47%. 50-50. With a loss, 22. Yeah. And that wild card spot, it's very much up for grabs. That final spot. Could see the Bills fall into that final spot with a couple more losses. First and 10 from the 23. Texans, single back formation. Bills are going to send a safety blitz. Uh-oh, he's got too much time to throw it wide open. That's to Collins, past the 45. And you knew that was going to be a big game. They sent a safety blitz, and Cole Bishop did not commit on it. And when he didn't get home, you can't be giving him that much time. You know he's going to be wide open. And Christian Benford was actually in man coverage there, so it shouldn't have been that easy. It wasn't like they did a zone blitz, but yeah, you always gotta kind of cringe a little bit when those deep blitzes don't come through, because you know something's going to be open. They fake the handoff, and Davis Mills is going to scramble up the middle for 4. Wants a face mask, isn't going to get the call. And now there is a flag. So they might actually get it a face mask. So what should have been a sack is going to turn into a 17-yard gain. Oh boy, a broken play that is disastrous for the Bills. Definitely got his face mask. It's going to be Deion Walker on the penalty. Yeah, I think 4-2 is realistic. Yeah, I agree. Every wide receiver screen should get audibles at the line. Yeah, bad penalty, and now they're already at the 34, 33 of the Bills. First and 10, little trick play end around, and that's going to be a gain of 5. Good tackle by Benford and Bishop. It's one of those plays where both sides are happy with it, right? 4 to 5 yard gain. You'll take it. Second and 5 now. Mills. That's all they did throw. He's going to throw it up, and Maxwell Harrison, it hits him in the back. Incomplete. 3rd and 5. Bad ball from Davis Mills. Harrison was beat a little bit, but if he would have turned around, probably would have been an easy pick. Another play where both sides of the ball are like, okay, we'll take it, right? By the time Harrison turned around, the ball already hit him in the back. So bad ball, 3rd and 5. Kind of in no man's land. I mean, if you could run the ball here if you're the Texans setting up for a 4th and 1, but it's empty backfield, so they're going to throw it. And it's going to be a shovel actually up the middle, and good job by, I think that's Jordan Hancock on the tackle. Great tackle by him now it's going to be 4th and 2. And another, yeah, I had maybe 4th and 1.5. Texans are going to go for it. But a big time tackle. I mean, that was if Hancock didn't get a piece of him, it was going to be a gain of at least like 8 or 9. 4th and 1, and they're in a shotgun formation. I don't know if I like that. It's just going to be a handoff up the middle, and oh my goodness, he gets it in more. Oh, jeez. The Bills had him all day behind the line of scrimmage, and Woody Marks just took it 3 yards. How do you not stop him there? That is just terrible tackling. Taron Johnson got ran over, and he couldn't even slow him down for help. That is just awful. Jeez. I mean, that's like watching Georgia against the Citadel on SEC Network. I mean, how do you not make that tackle? That was a grown man and a little boy. They'll send a big blitz. Davis Mills over the middle. Incomplete. Good job by Jordan Poyer to break that up. Dalton Schultz was the intended receiver, was wide open, underthrown again. And Poyer, maybe getting lucky a little bit, hits him in the back, broke it up. Whew. Bernard was on a blitz and couldn't get there, and wide open, but good hand by Poyer. A veteran move, just sticking the hand out there, watching the body movement. Even though he's not looking at the ball, he knows when it's coming, that mental marker. Another blitz by the Bills. Bernard gets fooled again. Mills, incomplete. Christian Benford breaks it up, but there's a flag. I don't know how that could be PI, but see what they call. Legal contact before the pass. That'll be a 5-yard penalty and an auto first. Ugh. That one, penalty on Taron Johnson. Taron Johnson not having a good drive. Yeah, Poyer, Davis, Trey White, Sawyer. Yep. Ah. And that play again, sent an all-out blitz, but completely fooled. So the linebackers on blitzes and on run plays are just atrocious. There's a play out wide. They're going to try to throw it, a trick play, but they don't. Now it's going to be an end run back the other way. And it's going to be a gain of around 10, first down. A very long developing play. Xavier Hutchinson. Wow. I think that's going to be first and goal now from the 4. They called him short. It's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 4. It's going to be a toss up top. Bills defense, there's a good tackle. Loss of 1. Have 3rd and 1 now. Shaq Thompson, Deion Walker on the tackle. There you go. Let's see. Can we get another defensive stop right at the red zone? Yeah, little Texans refereeing going on, but that's okay. Yeah, keep in mind, this drive should have been over. Taron Johnson had the tackle, and he just got ran over. And now we got a timeout. I think the Texans... Oh, they're going to say it to adjust the play clock. So no timeout. We're gonna get going here. Third and 1. See if they try a little quick throw. Everyone's expecting a run, right? So they're just adjusting the clock before this play. Third and 1. Should be a handoff up the middle and first down. 2-yard gain, first and goal. Another blitz that goes to the wrong side. It'll be Bernard again. Just cannot seem to stop the run for the life of him. Continues. It reminds me of Tremaine Edmonds, the way he blitzes. He is just always wrong. Half of that is luck. Half of that is decision making and reading and football experience. There's a run up the middle, and stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Good gang tackle by the Bills. 2nd and goal, and now the Texans are okay with this, right? You got to assume they get in the end zone in these next couple of plays. They're okay winding the clock down. We're at 4 minutes now. Now they're doing a little hurry up. It's going to be play action. Mills to the end zone, wide open. Kirk, touchdown. Looked like that might have been a false start that they didn't call, but Texans tie the game. An extra point will give them the lead. The drive that should have been over on that 4th and 1 turns into 7 points. Harrison looks confused in the end zone. Definitely a mix-up. Left him wide open. So Poyer, they said, baited on the run and left a guy wide open. So extra point by Fairbairn to take the lead. Snap, Hold, kick up, and good. 10-9. All right. So we head to commercial. The Bills gonna need points on this next drive. Texans got the ball first, so this isn't a bad spot to be. If the Bills can score before a half and double dip, they'll be back. They'll be fine. But crucial drive for the Bills to get some sort of points on. But yeah, you definitely want to see a little bit better from the defense there. Several chances to get off the field, and they weren't able to do it. Can't be too upset though. Can't be too upset at all. If you guys do attend the Sabres game tomorrow, there are some cheap tickets for $34 if you guys want to buy. Just saying. But they are serving the beer Saber. So if you guys are of age and want to go check that out, they finally released that. I know a lot of people are excited about that. Let me know what you guys think of the Bills so far in this game. Do you think they're kind of holding back a little bit, waiting, or do you think they are just kind of a little bit lost on both sides of the ball? Yeah, $45 is also pretty good. I think they were in like row two, so that's not bad at all. Taryn and Bernard been MIA for a month. Yeah, not going to disagree with that. They have return. Ray Davis out of bounds at the 26. Not great. Stray a little bit too much from Cook. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is a lot of their run plays are now just kind of telegraphed as run plays. Like they just run on running downs, pass on passing downs. Play action on 1st and 10. They're going deep, and it is picked off. Exactly what you couldn't do. All the way, touchdown Texans, pick six, but there's a flag. There's two flags, so hang on. It might not be a touchdown, but I think the pick's going to stand. Let's see. Blindside block on the Texans. 15-yard penalty, no pick six, but it is a pick, and it is a turnover. A deflected ball. Let's see whose fault this one was. Alshire on the deflection. Trying to hit a zone. He had Gabe Davis underneath. He should have went to. That one's on Josh Allen, 100%. Terrible decision. I'm not going to say it was a terrible throw, but you got to take your freebie underneath there. Trying to go to Elijah Moore downfield, who is not very tall. Oh, boy. The block in the back occurred at the 15, so that'll back him up to around the 30. Let's see if the Bills defense can get another stand. Jeez. 3,600 passes since Josh Allen's last pick six, and that one's not going to count. So that'll continue. Yeah, so that backs him up all the way to the 30, though. First play, run up the middle. There we go. Larry Ogunjobi lost it too. Maybe a blessing in disguise. Maybe the Bills can get a little defensive momentum going. We'll see. But geez, again, you look at that all 22 from that pick, and no one was open besides Gabe Davis underneath. Would have been a short gain. That's kind of all he had. And on first down, you can't panic and throw that ball. Try to fit it in the seams. But a good job by Al Shire. He's a heck of a linebacker, and he was able to get a hand on that. 2nd and 12. It's a throw. He's going to take his check down and blown up. Matt Milano lost a 4, and yep, there you go. Bills defense backing them up, back-to-back plays. How big would another loss of a couple be here on 3rd down to get them out of field goal range? 3rd and 17 now. You can't give this up, right? Come on, defense. What a play by Milano reading that. Matt Milano, a guy who needs a couple big plays to get back in there, right? Whole lot of talent, but he's banged up. He's injured. Here we go. 3rd and 17. Bills not getting too much pressure. They're going to go underneath. Oh, boy. And that's big time gain. 4th and 5. So I think the Texans are going to have to kick a field goal. We'll see. 2-minute warning. We'll see what they decide to do. Good stop by the Bills defense, though, all things considered. Because, if they get a field goal, fine. We'll get the ball right back, and then we get the ball to start the second. Not much changes. That missed extra point, though, is looming big. But yeah, good to see Milano back. Making impactful plays on the field. But yeah, this Texans defense is one of the top units in the league, and just a forced throw by Allen. And we've seen a lot of mistakes by him this season. Definitely a bit of a regression from last year. But of course, the play calling, it's the routes too. I mean, you look at that play and nobody's moving. Everyone's standing still besides Gabe Davis underneath, who he should have threw it to. But whole lot of those Joe Brady routes out there where people are just standing there or near the sidelines doing nothing. You got to be moving around, right? I mean, your quarterback's sitting there looking, and everyone's guarding, and everyone is just standing still. You can't do that. And this offense just remains stagnant. We had an improvement last week, but this week, right back to it, right? Other than that first drive, just nothing doing for this offense. But a little bit of success from Gabe Davis along the sidelines. Like, let's go back to that. I don't know. I don't understand how it's just night and day difference. I mean, I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't understand how this offense just continues to trot out the same 4 plays. They just cycle them. They either do everyone curls or wide receiver screen. The passing play calling is just atrocious, and I mean, Brian Dable's available. That's all I'm going to say. A master at the pass game. I don't know. But that first drive was great from Joe Brady, right? Even the plays that didn't work, I saw the vision, and all of a sudden we're right back to the same 3 plays. Here we go. Toss, halfback dive, toss, wide receiver screen, curls, halfback toss. I don't know. So they're going to 43-yard field goal, not a gimme. Fairbairn coming off 2 weeks not playing. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. 4-point game. Bills will get the ball right back though. So good job by the defense, all things considered, this half. Great job by the defense. Yeah, Victor, got to get Milano in a groove if you want to have success. And he's someone who's usually good in the run defense. And they've been playing Bernard so much, and he's been, just not good in the run defense. I don't know. Yeah. See if the offense does one of their drives where they start chucking it downfield a little bit. But with no Curtis Samuel, no McCole Hardman, you're at that issue again where Elijah Moore is your only downfield threat. Unless you want to go more of the jump ball route instead of the, beat 'em route. And if you want to go that route, you got Shavers, you got Gabe Davis. There's the kickoff to the 3. Ray Davis again on the return. This time, spin move, there he goes! Ray Davis! There he goes! All the way! Oh yeah, front flip! Well, that changes everything. Ray Davis bounces off a tackle with a spin move, and he was gone. Got by the kicker. Holy moly. Everyone's on the field celebrating that one. He ran into one of his own players. That created the spin move. Stayed on his feet. And I was just going to say, Ray Davis coming off a good week, struggling today on the return game, due for a big one. Prater on the extra point. Big one to put him up by 3. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. All right. All right. Wow. Play of the season for Ray Davis Jr. You'll love to see it. Does the James Cook front flip into the end zone, and you could see the special teams coach going crazy on the sidelines. Wow. The 4th kickoff return for a touchdown in the NFL this season. We are so back. Yeah, Palmer only 1 reception. I see some prior chats here. Yeah, covered the kick ourselves. Yeah, you'd hate to see him back to back. Oh, there's the kick. Fielded at the 5. It's going to go wide. Good tackle by Cam Lewis at the 25. There you go. Special teams, special teams, special teams. And yeah, it looked like Ray Davis ran into, is that Dorian or Shaq? Dorian Williams he runs into, and it helped him out. Solomon going crazy in the back. Uh, yeah, Kirk is excited. Yep. 1st and 10, Mills in the middle of the field. They're going to throw it. Gain of 7. And now you know what the Texans are thinking. 3 timeouts. Let's get down the field. Let's give ourselves a chance. Yeah, worst case, just like Kirk said, get a field goal, tie the game in half. But they're letting the clock run quite a bit. Now they got a minute left. Mills to throw over the middle. Oh, no. Wow. Tackled at the 50, and Collins is down. He's hurt. Took a shot to the ribs. But Cole Bishop, in doing so, almost missed the tackle, and Collins was almost home free. And since Collins is injured, the Texans are forced to call a timeout. But what a shot by Cole Bishop. And yeah, that hit was grand enough to bring him down. And now we'll go to commercial. Collins still down on the field, but they're already at midfield. But what a hit. That I thought it might have been a pick out of the hands, but a good throw. Now we got to hope that Nico Collins is not injured. He's been dealing with some injuries the last couple of years. So absolutely need to hold them to a field goal here. If you could, hold them to a field goal, that's fine. Tie game into halftime. Maybe they could even hold them to no points. Yeah, Bishop is becoming a favorite. The rib breaker. Yeah, I don't know what Benford is doing on that play. Elijah saying he's a golfer. Maybe we'll do a Buffalo SportsCenter golf outing next year when it warms up. I think we got enough people. Have to get everyone local and everyone close enough. We'll maybe meet in the middle of some of you guys and do a little golf outing. Run a little tournament at like a par 3 course or something. Obviously making it accessible for everyone, even those people who haven't played too much golf. Collins looks good on the sidelines. Probably just the wind knocked out of him. So he'll be out one play and then he'll be back in. Yeah, Elijah, I agree. I think you're my favorite golfer right now. 1st and 10. Bill send a blitz. It's going to be caught and tackled for a 7-yard gain. Dalton Schultz. And Benford is holding his shoulder. Oh, boy. So Benford to the medical tent. I think he was signaling stinger. His arm kind of went numb. So usually that's what that is. I don't think that'll be a major injury, but something to monitor. Yeah, we're looking at the standings now. I mean, shout out to the Colts. Shout out to the Patriots. I mean, no one expected them to be as good as they are. Patriots leading the way for number 1 seed probabilities because their schedules chump. And they've been playing good football. 2nd and 2. Davis Mills in trouble. Now he's not. In the middle of the field, wide open is Kirk. All the way to the 20, bounces it outside. And Bishop tackles him at the 7, but oh boy. And that'll keep the clock running, so Texans have to hurry up, but oh no. Bad play by the Bills defense. Just way too much time. Nobody could get to him. And Taron Johnson again crossed up. Cole Bishop had to run way out of his zone to catch him. But now there's only 17 seconds, so the Texans got to hurry up. They still have a timeout. 12. They're going end zone. Tre'Davious White on the coverage. Incomplete. Great coverage. Pushed him out of bounds. 9 seconds to go. So now the Texans have 9 seconds. You got 1 to 2 more chances at the end zone. Still a timeout. Yeah, only 1 foot down. Tre'Davious White, veteran move, making sure. Yeah, definitely. Okay, right foot went out of bounds. The left foot never even came down. Oof. Wow, and the Texans have an injury on the field. Ursiri on the ground. Their left tackle. So that's going to force them to use their last timeout. So now it makes things really dicey. A sack would practically end the half. So you got to do a quick throw. Wow. So probably only 1 more play. Can the Bills bear down for 1 more play and force a field goal? Here we go. Big time play for the Bills defense. Can they stop them? So now another backup lineman comes in for the Texans. Do you dare send a blitz here? I don't know. Wow, they're saying Ursary has not missed a single snap this season until this point. That's a crazy accomplishment. Here we go. 2nd and goal. Harrison's out there for the Bills. Let's see if the Bills call timeout. They usually call these timeouts. They're not gonna. Here we go. Snap. Mills to the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, boy. I think Cam Lewis was on the coverage and he fell down, but there's a flag. I think it's going to be defensive PI, though, either way. Flag's at the 7. I think it's on the defense. Yeah, they call pass interference on Cam Lewis, who fell down. Jeez, touchdown Texans. Terrible job by the defense at the end of the half. And now they'll kick the extra point to make it a 4-point game. Oh, boy. What a swing. A lot of slipping going on for the Bills this game. Whole lot of people falling down. We saw a little bit by the Texans early on, too, so I don't know what's going on with the field, but it's turf. You wouldn't expect a lot of people to be slipping. It's not like it's a rainy day on grass. Fairbairn extra point up and no good. Oh, it is good. Okay. Almost missed it. 4-point game, 20-16, 5 seconds left. You got to assume the Bills return it, and then we'll go to halftime. Wow. How's it going, 360 Sports? Yeah, McDermott's special for sure. Yeah. Bills will get the ball to start the second half, though. Not panic time yet. Jeez. But Cam Lewis falling down there just, terrible. Then Poyer missed his hit. If he would have hit him, the ball could have popped out. He was bobbling it a little bit. Jeez. So work to be done in the second half for the Bills. 1:38 they marched down there. And 2 of their timeouts were spent because of injuries. Here comes the kickoff with 5 seconds left. I wouldn't blame the Texans for just nuking this thing into the end zone. See if that's what they choose to do. And that's exactly what they do. Ray Davis is going to knee it. So 5 seconds. I'd assume the Bills knee it. They could theoretically try a 4-second out route and try a 70-yard field goal. Maybe if the Texans give you that much space outside. But 5 seconds is going to be tough. If they had 15 seconds, maybe they try that. But 5 seconds, yeah, it looks like they're just going to knee it. That they do. We'll head to halftime. I'm going to play a video for you guys. I'll see you guys in the second half. Disappointing end for sure to that half.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
The Bills have a chance to make a season-saving move. It doesn't involve anyone that would actually be playing on the field, but earlier today, the New York Giants fired Brian Daboll as their head coach. I know what we're all thinking. Brian Daboll, the best offensive coordinator the Bills have had in decades, on the open market. Can the Bills find a way to bring Brian Daboll back into the system? First things first, let's talk about the current offensive coordinator situation in Buffalo. It is Joe Brady, and he could tweet out 1-0 every single week for the end of time, and I don't care. This guy, I've seen enough. He is a one-trick pony. His run game is solid, but this guy literally has 6 plays in his playbook, and he flips the sheet over, and there's 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and he just rotates between them over and over and over. The halfback toss didn't work. Let's try wide receiver screen. Oh, the defenses have realized that we only run plays, 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. Let's try Josh Allen scramble for 57 seconds and have our wide receiver stand in one place. It's not working, right? Like this offense is completely stagnant, and the Dolphins, a very weak Dolphins defense, by the way. This secondary for the Dolphins is terrible. Their defensive line, they traded away some of their top guys. Just a terrible defense in total. Made the Bills offense look absolutely garbage. I mean, this defense absolutely embarrassed the Bills offense. And we're talking about an offense led by Josh Allen. How many times do I got to say it? If you're an offensive coordinator and you cannot figure out how to make Josh Allen look good, you got to go. I said it with Ken Dorsey years ago, and now Joe Brady has fallen into that same role where, sure, he's got James Cook looking like $1,000, but you got the best quarterback in the league or a top 3 quarterback in the league, and you're making him into a check down merchant. Why? Absolutely why. We look at better quarterbacks around the league. Patrick Mahomes, for example, who you could compare with Josh Allen. He has an absolute offensive genius working with him on a week-to-week basis in Andy Reid. And look at some of the stuff they do compared to the Bills. And I hate to compare the Chiefs to the Bills, but that's all we're going to do around here in Buffalo until we beat them in the playoffs. And Andy Reid just comes up with some of the most creative moves on offense, some of the most creative plays that make Patrick Mahomes and, in years prior, their quote-unquote garbage group of wide receivers look like the best in the league. I know Joe Brady's not working with the best group of wide receivers, but the Chiefs were able to do it with an even worse group a couple years ago. So why not the Bills? The Bills will be getting Palmer back. They'll be getting Gabe Davis back. But let's be honest. Are those two going to change what Joe Brady calls on offense? No, not at all. He's going to continue to do the same old stuff. Pitch left, pitch right, run up the middle, wide receiver screen, the occasional 5-yard pass downfield. Let's go back a few years ago with one of the most electric Bills offenses in the last couple decades, and that was run under Brian Daboll. Sure, were there games in those seasons where the Bills put up, 15 points, 14 points? Yes, that did happen. But for the most part, the Bills offense was consistently scoring. And keep in mind, this is with a Josh Allen that was not MVP Josh Allen yet. He still made those dumb mistakes that did put his team back. Now you have a completely different version of Josh Allen. A Josh Allen that is just praying to throw the ball downfield. A version of Josh Allen that has all the intangibles and he's finally putting them all to good use. He no longer makes the dumb throws down the field. Right now, Joe Brady is taking Josh Allen, putting him in handcuffs and saying, go out there and just catch the snap. That's basically his job on this offense. Catch the snap and, maybe throw it 3 yards down the field. You got to be able to win games with your quarterback, especially when it's Josh Allen. So final question of this video, can the Bills get Brian Daboll? Will they do it? Well, there's a couple problems, right? I don't think they're going to fire Joe Brady. The team is 6-3. They're still in a playoff spot by a game or 2 games right now. There's really no reason to fire Joe Brady even after that terrible game. You'd really have to have a couple more bad losses really pinned on the offense to even consider firing Joe Brady. So if you were to hire Brian Daboll right now, it would have to be as an offensive assistant or, a senior offensive advisor, something of that nature. Number 2, we have the feud between Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott. It's been rumored, it's almost been confirmed by now that Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott, they don't not like each other, they hate each other. There is a feud between them. Can they get along? Can they, hash things out in order to save this season and potentially the rest of Josh Allen's career? I know I'm making it sound serious, but if we're going to keep throwing Josh Allen out there to be a check down merchant, you might as well just trade him away and sign a quarterback for $2 million that can do the same thing and get some wide receivers on this team and build a team around him, because you're wasting a franchise quarterback. You're wasting a generational talent right now, and it's very evident. So can you kind of take away that hatred between McDermott and Daboll? That's a question that we're going to have to figure out, and there's no question about it that Sean McDermott loves his complimentary football, and anyone who serves as offensive coordinator, unless they are a guy like Brian Daboll, who is an established coach in the league, they're just going to be taking orders from McDermott, and that's what Dorsey did. That's what Joe Brady's doing now. We got to run the ball. We got to give our defense so much time, X amount of time to be ready for next drive. We can't go down there and score in 3 seconds because we're going to give it right back with our defense. The system that the Bills play, again, it's 1900s football, and they've been doing that for the entire time under Sean McDermott, and all these defensive, analytics that he uses and these defensive schemes, they don't work. His teams do not tackle well. His teams do not defend well. I think 4 out of the last 5 playoff runs, the defense has let us down. But right now, we're in a situation that is very similar to the year Ken Dorsey got fired, where he lost that Broncos game, and we all were like, oh boy, we're out of a playoff spot. It's not as bad right now, but it's trending in that direction, and the team needs to make a shakeup. What did they do? They fired Ken Dorsey, and they flipped the season around. Joe Brady was a nice, fresh face. He actually, got the running backs involved in the pass game. But now it looks like he's kind of run his course. And if you're going to continue to handcuff Josh Allen, I don't want you as this offensive coordinator of this team. We'll have to see, though. Again, there is a chance that, and I've been saying it, I've been holding out hope that Joe Brady has been, keeping a hidden playbook aside for games that actually matter, because he knows maybe he can get the competitive advantage when they go to the playoffs. But good teams don't have to do that, right? When you have things that work, you have a big enough playbook. And if you're going to handcuff your franchise quarterback, the MVP of last season, to only checkdowns, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the last point I want to make is, there's people saying, well, Allen does throw the ball downfield and he's inaccurate sometimes this year, and Allen's looked bad this year. When you give him downfield plays on clear passing downs, of course he's going to look bad. If it's 3rd and 20 and you let him throw the ball downfield, the offense, is clearly lined up for a pass. The defense knows it's coming. It's near impossible to get a first down on that sort of markage. But when you have, say the 2nd and 1 plays where it's hit or miss, and you don't give him a single deep ball all season long on like a 2nd and 3 or less, that's exactly where you should be taking those shots with a quarterback. Good teams do it. Teams with good quarterbacks do it. Look at the Rams this year. They are letting Matthew Stafford air that thing out to his receivers, and it's working. It's just unacceptable, right? We've seen the Chiefs do it with a worse group of receivers. I don't want any more excuses for Joe Brady. He has to change his ways if he wants to stay here, and I absolutely am among the camp that they should bring Brian Daboll back under any circumstance, whether that's an offensive assistant, new offensive coordinator. I don't even care if he's the new head coach. I mean, he was bad in New York as a head coach, but this team is just repetition. It's the same thing every year, and if they continue to trend like this, it's going to be much of the same in the playoffs. They're going to get to the playoffs, play a better coach, and they're going to get out coached. They're going to lose. We know it's coming, so they have to change something up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like on this video and subscribe. Again, it's not time to hit the panic button. 6-3, still in the playoff spot, but you can tell things are going downhill and very fast. They're going to have to make some sort of change, whether that's signing a free agent or getting a coach like Brian Daboll. Thank you guys for watching this video, and have a good one. Peace out.
Are you wearing 7
All right, all right, all right, all right. Time for the third quarter. Josh Allen, only 88 yards in the air in this game so far. All right. Texans to kick off. Bills down by 4. It's kicking it to Ray Davis again. Here we go. This time in the end zone. And Davis got to take it out. And he falls down and is down at the 20. What a bonehead move by Ray Davis. I mean, I'll say it again, and I've been saying this all season. The ball goes into the end zone in the air. You get a free 35 yards, kneel the ball. I mean, that is just stupid, down by 4. So, Ray Davis, touchdown return, but that play just negates everything. Just dumb. Straight up dumb. Selfish play. Bills at their own 20. I mean, that's just as stupid as you can get. Long field now. First play, handoff to Cook, gain of 1. Here we go again. Joe Brady. I mean, that's just, they're gifting you 35 yards. They're saying, just take it. Just take it. We don't want to return. And I don't understand that at all. Now you set yourself up for failure with a, obvious run. 2nd and 9 now. Elijah Moore in motion. Allen, play action. In the pocket, over the middle, wide open. Jackson Hawes, and he's got all the way to the 40. There you go. Finding your dump off route. There you go, Josh. Nice check down throw, and nobody was even close to Jackson Hawes. Block and release, beautiful. Oh, and Gabe Davis, if you would have cut the other way towards the sideline, would have been gone. Will Anderson getting checked up on the sideline. That's big. They're checking his shoulder pad. Checking his range of motion. So 39-yard line. Allen. Taking the snap. It's going to be a throw. And Allen, taken down. 1-yard gain. Not good blocking at all on that play. Allen had nothing quick. 2nd and 9 now. Checking Anderson's left shoulder. Looks like he's going to go back in, but a little bit weak on those little wing exercises. Second and 9. Handoff to Cook. Bounces off 1. I mean, the run game's just not going to work. I know there was one big play, but come on now. Got to stop. And now Will Anderson comes back on the field for 3rd and long. This play calling, just right back to the bottom of the bin. 3rd and 6. Probably try something out wide. I wouldn't be surprised if they try a screen. Ty Johnson out wide. It looks like they'd be setting up a screen, but now they're going to call him in. Quick audible, 3 seconds, 2 seconds on the play clock. They get it off. And Allen Anderson got on him, but no call. Okay, still scrambling. Allen rolls back the other way. And now he's brought down all the way to his own 25-yard line. Jeez. I don't know how nobody gets open. Bills will have to punt it, and a big loss, too. If you're Allen, you got to just throw it away. Jeez. So Wisnowski's going to need a good punt. Bills down 4, and they're giving the ball. Punt. Going to be fair caught right at the 30. Sam Franklin begging for a block in the back call. Not going to get it. So the Texans take over at their own 30. And that whole drive starts off with Ray Davis taking the ball out, bobbling in his own end zone, still taking it out. I mean, that is just bad special teams leads to a bad drive. I don't know. Completely embarrassing. Yeah, I agree. Allen looks handcuffed. Yeah, again, he's just sitting there waiting for stuff to develop, running around with his head cut off in the backfield, and just no one gets open for him. That he's not hitting the checkdowns. He did one time on that drive, but it's hard to even blame that offense when they shoot themselves in the foot before the drive even starts, taking the ball out of the end zone. I mean, this new kickoff rule, nobody, unless there's 2 seconds left on the clock and you need a return or something, there is no reason you should return it. I don't care if Tyreek Hill, I don't care if, you have the best of the best in their prime return men back there. There is no reason you should be taking the ball out from your own end zone. And the Bills have done it multiple times this season. And each time they have, they've gotten tackled at the 20, the 22. You're costing yourself 15, 10 yards. I mean, it's just a bonehead play. So I don't know. Like, you got to wonder what they're doing at practice and in special teams. Like, if I'm the special teams coach of an NFL team, I am benching anyone who takes the ball out of the end zone. I don't care if you're Brandon Marshall. I don't care who you are. 35 yards, you take that all day if you're an offense in this day and age. And one bad decision leads to another, and then he slips down at the 20, and it completely negates the touchdown. I don't know. So now the Bills defense, they got to wake up because they started the game good, and the last couple drives they got destroyed. We got a quick whistle before the snap. They're saying a lineman is reporting eligible, so probably an RPO coming. Team gives you the cold sweats, trying to find his cape. Yeah. I, yep. It's play action. It's going to be a screen. And it's going to be a 12-yard gain for Nick Chubb. And the Bills defense sells out for the run. Don't get it. They have the Bills figured out right now. They know their weaknesses, and somebody's going to have to make a play. Can't give up a touchdown here. Absolutely cannot. Yeah, Sherman or Septic. Wow, so that play actually got called back. They didn't show it on the broadcast. Illegal man downfield. Absolutely. Yep. Wow, 5-yard penalty. Wow, that bails them out. 1st and 15. Mills to throw. Bosa getting held. Okay, there's going to be a dump out. It's going to be a loss of 1. Oh, boy. Terrell Bernard's holding his arm. He's hurt. A guy that just cannot stay healthy at all. Holding his arm, holding his elbow. That's not good at all. Rolling around on the ground. He's going to be out. I mean, just these guys on the defense just cannot stay healthy at all. I mean, I don't want to laugh at an injury, but it's comical the amount of injuries this team has. Just gets stiff arm. Milano comes in to help him tackle, and didn't look that bad. I don't know. Just landed on the elbow. You gotta hope it's a stinger or a funny bone type, but he looked to be in a lot of pain. Yeah, paper tigers. Whoever teaches tackling on this team should have been fired. Yeah, they don't know how to tackle at all. I don't know. Again, sometimes the injuries where guys are in the most pain, like that Allen injury, sometimes those are the ones that they're fine, like 2 plays later. So, gotta hope it's nothing serious for Bernard. But if Shaq Thompson has to come in and play, I'm not gonna complain. But it'll be 2nd and 16 when we come back. just I don't know what this team is just a mess, and I don't know. Some games they look very impressive, and some games they just look like garbage. But yeah, Bills loss would really weaken the weekend, right? Then you got to watch football in pain. Game's still far from over though. Yeah, and they're showing this commercial of these babies getting baptized in the Bills Mafia, and I've seen this commercial one too many times at this point. They love spamming that commercial. So Terrell Bernard headed to the locker room holding his arm. That doesn't look good at all. Second and 16. It's going to be a throw. Milano on the blitz. Oh, and they can't get him, of course. Mills is going to scramble, though. He's only going to. There's a flag. It's going to be a hold on the Texans. That's big. Okay. Holding on the offense. That'll back him up. So it'll be a second and 26 now. I was going to say it had to be a hold because Joey Bosa and Matt Milano were in there for a sack, and they both missed. But yeah, Bosa definitely got held there. Yeah, all day got dragged to the ground. Second and 26. At their own 15-yard line. They're going to do a run up the middle, and why not against this Bills defense? Going to be a gain of 10, so now it's third and 16. Woody marks on the carry, so come on now. Defense cannot allow this. This is where they struggle, though. Third and long, they allow the soft zones. Third and 16. Big time play. This is a gimme for the Bills defense. You got to stop it. Oh, and it was a screenplay. They got to throw it away. Greg Rousseau was right over it. Now there's a flag, though. Oh, no. I think illegal man downfield, right? It has to be. I think it's going to be on the offense. Illegal man downfield. The screen took too long to develop. So now Allen will start warming up. Penalties decline. So Texans will have to punt it away. Good job by the defense. Here we go. That was an ugly drive by the Texans after that first play got flagged. Again, you set them back behind the line of scrimmage, and they were unable to move it. Townsend boots it up in the air. Pretty deep punt caught at the 19. Shakir runs backwards and keeps running backwards, and he gets tripped up at the 11. What are we doing? And there's a flag on this play as well. See what the flag is, but once again, the Bills are going to have putrid field position just the whole game. By choice, too. Running backwards, taking kicks out that they shouldn't. Have to march the entire field. The refs are gathered. Half the distance to the goal on a hold. On Cam Lewis. So Cam Lewis having a rough game. Here we go. I mean, again, the Bills' defense, they stop them, and a punt, and Shakir just, again, could have walked out of bounds at the 20. Instead, runs backwards, ends up being a penalty because of the return. So many mental mistakes from this team. Stuff that just cannot happen if you want to be a Super Bowl contender. All the way back their own 9. Hand off to Cook. Gain of 4. 3 to 4 up the middle. Not a terrible start to the drive. Yeah, that's funny, Victor. 2 daughters and split fandom today. Second and 6. Play action. Allen scrambles and has to throw it away. I mean, this play design. And he got hit late. No penalty. 3rd and 6 now. The Bills' offense just has no answer right now. And if they have to punt here, they're going to, need an absolute boot of a punt to not just give them field goal range already. This is just putrid play calling all day long. Third and 6. I mean, they are just not scheming anyone open. These run plays are not going anywhere. Again, late audible. 2 seconds on the play clock. 1. They just get it off. And Allen again tripped up, and down he goes. Connor McGovern ended up being hurt on the play. Another sack to Neil Hunter. Nobody gets open. Yeah, this is just disgusting. Brandon Beane has severely fouled this team. See what happened to McGovern. He just got plowed over in the middle. Ay. Again, Allen just, the blocking has not been good as of late either. Wishnowski punts it from his own end zone. Gonna need a boot. Gets it off. Fair caught at the 46. All right, defense needs to hold them to a field goal. Jeez. Yeah, Brandon Cooks or OBJ. One of the two. You need them. Yeah, offensive coordinator. The offensive line's been bad. The receivers don't get open. It's just a total mess right now with this team. And a loss this week would put the division at a very hard spot to get, but playoffs still 87%. I'm not too worried about the playoffs. The tiebreakers we do have over teams like the Chiefs, right? But it is concerning right now. Like, they got to get it figured out quick. And it has been just the same problems over and over and over in every game. Defense gonna have to come up big. Yeah, Spencer Brown and Connor McGovern got flattened on that play. So I don't know. It's just problems all over for this Bills team. Plenty of time for the Bills to come back in this one, but they're going to have to hold them to a field goal. And it looks like a referee actually got hurt on that play. The main ref, Adrian Hill, concussion protocol, or maybe a leg injury. Let's see. So Roy Ellison becomes the referee. Oh my gosh, and the ref's going away on the cart. See what happened after this play. Oh, non-contact injury. Pulled something on his left leg, so referee injury. Had to limp off. So that might end his season. So now with one less referee on the field, you got to assume. I know playoffs they usually have backups, but here they don't. So one less referee, expect less flags. You would assume. First place a handoff up the middle, gain of 2. Oh no, and Harrison's down injured. Ay ay ay. Maxwell Harrison down injured on the tackle. Everyone getting injured on a short week. I mean, what a joke. This team cannot stay healthy. Every play, somebody gets injured. You got to hope it's something minor. Immediately reach for his head. Sean McDermott on the field looking at him. Jeez. And we'll head to commercial. What a nightmare game for the Bills. Yeah, Sawyer. I don't know about that one. I mean, this is just a joke. I mean, every play somebody gets hurt. Nobody knows how to tackle. Trying to see if anyone's got an update on Harrison here. Not seeing anything just yet. Let's see. Yeah, no updates yet. Wow. He's walking off. Spencer Brown also in the medical tent. Jeez. Spencer Brown's been dealing with numerous injuries all season long. He's been toughing it out, except for 1 week. 2nd and 7 at midfield. Seven running it. Rousseau makes the tackle, gain of 5. Be 3rd and 2. All right. And now Woody Marks slow to get up. The running back for the Texans. And he's down, and we're going to have another injury timeout. Woody Marks, Texans running back. That would be a massive loss for them. Yeah, both Pagula's team, Sabres and Bills, both injured head to toe. Looks like a knee injury for Woody Marks. I don't know if it's cramps or something more serious. Rousseau's got blood on his sock, and a good amount of it too, so he must have been scraped up. So we'll see if that affects his play, but a good tackle by him on that play. And they're feeling his knee. That's never a good sign. Maybe a MCL or PCL type injury for Woody Marks. Crowd's starting to cheer a little bit, so maybe he popped up. They're not showing us. Yeah, Woody Marks pops up to the sidelines. Looks like he's okay. Now they're getting a mic hooked up to the referee because, yeah, let's have another stoppage in this game. Why not? Spencer Brown back on the sidelines. He looks good to go. And Terrell Bernard in a sling comes back onto the sidelines. It's going to be a run on 3rd and 2 and crushed in the backfield. Matt Milano. Big tackle. 4th and 2 now. Probably go for it. This is a huge opportunity. If the Bills could stop them on 4th and 2 and get good field position for the first time in a while. Whew, here we go. Big play. And Terrell Bernard's injury, I mean, he just has not been good this year. Banged up probably in another injury. Hopefully something minor. Couple weeks. And they're going to punt. The Texans are going to punt and try to pin the Bills deep. Good stop by the Bills defense. And now we got a flag. Oh, no. And Harrison's now walking back to the locker room. False start on the offense. So, okay. So now they'll definitely have to punt. And that referee, loving life, getting to call him. Harrison back to the locker room, maybe checking him out for a concussion. And if that's the case, keep in mind, any concussion-like injuries, they're on a long week now. They don't play until next Sunday, so should be back for next week if he's out the remainder of this week. But you hate to see guys get concussions because if those add up, those could get dangerous. Tommy Townsend with the punt. That one fair caught at the 7. And the Bills, bad field position again, but they're going to have another chance. Here comes the offense. Okay, so Kirk is saying he thinks the Texans were maybe going to go for a fake punt before that false start. Interesting. Either trying to fake it or draw him off sides. All right. At our own 8-yard line. Allen, handoff to Cook. Same exact start as last drive, about 3 to 4 yards up the middle. Okay. Spencer Brown back in the game. Good to see. And Spencer Brown, somebody whose sheer size alone, even if he's playing a little banged up, can help out the offensive line. Just a mountain of a human being. 2nd and 6. Looks like Spencer Brown, they wrapped up his shoulder. I don't know if he might have had that wrap before the game, though. 2nd and 6. It's going to be a throw. Allen, all day to throw over the middle and hit as he caught it. Shakir makes the catch. Gain of 4. 3rd and maybe 2 or 3. There you go. Can the Bills get it? Definitely not 4-down territory, so you're going to need it here. And here comes the pass rushers for the Texans. Hunter and Anderson. Ty Johnson out wide. Allen pointing something out. Again, low on the play clock, so the D-line's going to know when it's coming. 3, 2, 1. Just got it off. All day to throw over the middle. Caught and fumbled. Shakir fumbles and the Texans pick it up. Oh, but they rule it incomplete. Oh, no, they rule it a catch. Okay, fumble. Ay, ay, ay. Khalil Shakir, massive mistake. Let's hope it's incomplete, but I think it's a fumble. They're going to review it. Let's see. Yeah, that's a fumble for sure. Unbelievable. Jeez, so a good play by the Bills, negated by a fumble, and now the Texans have great field position. Shakir having a rough game. Come on, defense. Got to hold them to a field goal. Jeez. This offense is just a nightmare. Get us a receiver. Brandon Cooks or OBJ. Please. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and Marks has all the space in the world. 5 to 6 yard gain up the middle. Somehow they're going to have to hold them to a field goal. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Second and 3. Handoff again up the middle, and why not? Bills defense all over that one. Gain of maybe 1, so crucial 3rd down now. Here we go. Come on, defense. Need a stop. Yeah, Terrell Bernard out for the game, obviously. Elbow injury. Harrison in the back looking for concussion. And now James Cook in the injury tent. 3rd and 2. They're going to run it up the middle, and it is, oh my gosh, 4 missed tackles and a 1st down. This defense is pathetic. Make a tackle. Oh my gosh. They were all over it, and they can't make a tackle. Nobody wants to put their body on the line to make a tackle. Milano, Bishop, Mathis, just a joke of an effort from all 3. Just arm tackle, dive in, put your body on the line. 1st and 10 now. Again, another missed opportunity. Handoff up the middle and goes down at the line of scrimmage. There we go. Still got a chance to hold them to a field goal. Now they're looking at AJ Epinesa on the sideline with an injury. Looks like a neck injury. Second and 10. Should be a delay of game. Play clock runs out. Flag is out. Let's see if they got a timeout in time. They did not. Delay a game. Wow. Crucial penalty there. So now it'll be second and 15. Yeah, coaching staff needs to be criticized for sure. Second and 15. Need a hold. Over the middle, and it's batted down. Taron Johnson, good defense, incomplete. Third and 15 now. If they could hold them to a field goal, this would be a huge stand by the defense. Daquan Jones got a piece of it. Great job by him. And I mean, I gotta say, I think we've seen it enough. Joey Bosa is turning into Von Miller on this team. He just routinely goes around the outside, and it's got to be a coaching thing, right? Get the corner, set the edge, blah blah blah. But like one of the two edge guys, Rousseau and Bosa, they have to start getting through. Third and 15, they throw it up top. Taron Johnson on the coverage, and they make a tackle at the 7. And that's definitely got to force a field goal. There's no way they go for that. So field goal would make it a 7-point game. Good job by the defense. Now all the offense has to do is get a touchdown, and they tie it up. Keep in mind, missed extra point early on in this game. Here comes the field goal attempt. 26 yards. Doesn't get much easier than this. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. 7-point game. All right. 17 seconds to go in the third. Going to need a big-time drive from the offense. Haven't been able to do it since the first drive of the game. And again, a loss this week, it wouldn't kill the Bills' playoff hopes in any means. It would actually up their percentage to get a wild card spot because it would mean the division is less intact. Yeah, Victor, I don't think we're gonna ever see that again. I think Terry is more than okay, never speaking to the media again. And that's the thing, right? Like he should, but he doesn't have to, and he's not gonna. Seven-point game. Kickoff in the end zone. Need the ball. Thank you. Ray Davis needs it. They're giving him a free 35 yards. They're basically saying your offense sucks. You ain't moving the ball. I mean, teams don't do that. Teams do not do that anymore with the new kickoff rules, and the Texans have done it multiple times. They said, we're not giving you a chance to return it. Take your 35 yards, and you got to do that every time. Yeah, Shakir's struggling for sure. First and 10. They've been running it every first and 10 on their drives. Let's see if they do it again. Nope, play action. Allen sacked, down to the 25, lost at 10, end of the third. I mean, what are these plays? That play took forever to develop. Jeez. I mean, this play calling is the worst I've ever seen it as a Bills fan, and we've been through some terrible coaches and coordinators. There is zero response. Zero response whatsoever, so I don't know. Sets the Bills way back. I mean, I don't even know what the answer to this is. I mean, you got to start getting a little creativity, maybe a trick play or something. I don't know. There's nothing going right. The only run plays they do are just straight up run, like you know it's going right up the middle. Every pass play they run is play action, which I think that's very telling on their wide receivers' abilities to get open. I mean, every pass play this game, besides maybe one or two, has been play action. There's just lack of creativity, lack of diversity on this offense. And now a 2nd and 20. I mean, I don't know what we're watching right now. Again, you're playing a good defensive team. And again, the game's not over if you got to punt it, but you can't allow any more points until you score. Yeah, it's just a combination of lack of talent out wide and lack of play calling. I don't know. So we're coming back here. Keep in mind, if the Texans beat the Bills, they're going to have the tiebreaker for that last wild card spot if that ends up being a thing. Second and 18. First play of the fourth quarter. Allen, finally no play action. He's going to take his dump off to Cook. Gain of 4 over the middle. Third and very long now. This game, I mean, it's making you wonder about Keon Coleman too, scratching him. I mean, how bad is the Keon Coleman situation where he's not playing in this game, where you have no receivers? Third and 13, it's manageable. And he gets rushed again. Now he's got all day. He's got to scramble, and he's got the first down. No, he goes down a yard short. Why'd he go down so? Let's see where they mark it. The angle was a little deceiving. Let's see if he got it. I think they're going to give him the first down. It's so close, but they did. Wow, what a play. All right, 1st and 10. Offense can relax a little bit. Gilliam in motion. They just get the play off. Allen out wide. They throw it to Gilliam. 2-yard gain out wide. I mean, that's where we're at right now with the play calling. Fullback, leak out. It's like we're playing Madden 19 with Steve Oslader. I don't know. Or Mike Oslat. Second and 8. It's going to be a handoff to Cook. Gets out wide. There he goes. Oh, big time run for Cook. Out of bounds at the 30. Hopefully no flags. No flags. Good play. There we go. Must needed. James Cook at 106 yards on the day. There we go. Big time play for James Cook. There we go. All right, 1st and 10 at the 32. They give it to Cook again up the middle. That one only going to go for about 3. Second and 7 now. You need some sort of yardage. Let's see if they keep trying to go with the chunk plays or if they take one deep here on 2nd and 7. Second and 7. Another handoff to Cook, and he finds the middle. Gain of maybe 3 to 4, so another chunk play. And I hate to say it, but probably run it again, right? 4 down territory, maybe, as crazy as it sounds. Because the offense has just been so stagnant, you can't rely on the defense to get another stop. It's almost a must touchdown here. 3rd and 2. No Will Anderson out there this play, so maybe you take your chances in the pass game, but see if they run it again. And they do, and Cook gets stopped. Ay, ay, ay. 4th and 1. What do you do if you're the Bills? I would go for it. And they're going to keep the offense out there, at least for now. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it was one of those, and they got to hurry this up here. They sent Cook off the field. I mean, this is just bad coaching again. 16 seconds on the play clock. They still haven't broke the huddle. Cook back in. They break the huddle with 10 seconds. You got to hurry this up. You don't want to waste a timeout. 5, 4. They hand it off to Cook up the middle, and it gets blown up. Turnover. What in the world is that play call? Oh, my gosh. With 10 minutes to go. Jeez. Joe Brady, what are we doing? The worst. Oh my gosh. I mean, 3rd and 2, a terrible play call. And 4th and 2, a terrible play call. Again, 2 chances to get 2 yards. And you don't try anything out wide. They just up the middle, up the middle. I mean, Joe Brady is the worst Bills offensive coordinator. He's got to be worse than Ken Dorsey at this point. Just absolutely pissing away opportunities. A quarterback's coach, and that's his ceiling, 100%. Just an absolute joke of a coach. Wow. How do you waste that opportunity? 3rd and 2, and back-to-back just garbage play calls, the most obvious play calls. And again, I hate to bring up the Chiefs, but they've been dominant in this league for years and years in the AFC. What do they do on 3rd and 2? They're going to sling that out wide. They're going to pass it, or they're going to run it out wide. They're not going to run it up the middle 2 times. They're not going to do that. Okay, yeah, exactly. You have Josh Allen. You have the most athletic, best quarterback in the league, and you just piss away opportunities because you don't trust him. Again, you could put Mitch Trubisky at quarterback of this Bills offense, and he would be the same exact player, same exact stats this year. Unbelievable. Just I don't know, but the worst offensive coordinator of all time for this Bills team. Yep. I mean, that again, just terrible coaching, though, right? Like, there's no play prepared at all. Cook runs off the field, then he runs back on. They break out of the huddle late. It's a mess. They get just an absolute joke of a coaching. How do you not go outside? I mean, they're saying O'Cyrus Torrance got beat. There's 3 guys on James Cook by the time he touches the ball. There's no blame in anyone. It's a bad play call. Allen slams his helmet. I mean, how can you? He says, "What are we doing?" Exactly. What are we doing? Defense defense absolutely has to get a stop. Handoff up top. Good tackle by Cole Bishop. Gain of 1. Come on, defense. We need the ball right back. Let's go. Big stop. Let's go. I mean, this play calling is just a joke. Loser of this game, Joe Brady, number 1. And what's sad is you could say that about pretty much every loss this year on the Bills. Joe Brady has been one of the main problems. I mean, they get success with Palmer and Gabe Davis, and they just stop using him. They stop using him. Now it's going to be a throw over the middle. Dropped. A huge drop. Would have been a gain of 5. That backup tight end again. Second drop of the day. 3rd and 9. Come on, defense. Let's go. Need a stop. Yeah, exactly. They're just not prepared. How are you not prepared for anything? And even if you want to say, "Oh, it was a short week," you still have to have general play calls prepared for 4th and 1, 4th and 2, right? Like, you got a whole page of the playbook for those plays, and you call halfback dive with Gilliam and Ray Davis in there. The defense knows. 3rd and 9, they said pressure. Mills in trouble. Throws it away. Incomplete. And they'll have to punt. Huge defensive stand. Shout out to the defense. Cole Bishop, good blitz. That's Daquan Jones getting to Davis Mills. Daquan Jones having a big game. Batted ball, couple QB pressures. Sling the ball downfield first play. I don't even care what happens. You're getting a gift. You're getting this ball back down 7. Townsend gets it off. Line drive kick. Shakir's going to have some space. Don't fumble it, buddy. Takes it down to the 36, 37. Okay. Run it back. To the commercial break. Now, here is the moment where you can overreact, right? You get a chance right away. And what you'd want to do, right, is you want to do some crazy play here on 1st down, right? Chuck the ball and hope it goes well. The run game was working in a sense on 1st and 2nd down. But, right, like, you can't panic on this drive. But but you need points and you need a touchdown. It's the same thing as the last drive. If you get a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, you got to go for it. A field goal ain't doing nothing here because then you need a 2 more field goals, right? If you're going to play the field goal game, it's not going to happen. Yeah, definitely can't blame the defense. Keep in mind this Texans offense is not very good. Their running backs are beasts, I get it, but they're not near the top of the league. And the receivers decent, but Davis Mills, you got to be able to beat Davis Mills, and they have. Davis Mills has missed some crucial throws. They've got pressure on him that's affected decision making. 2 of his touchdowns have been guys wide open because people have slipped or overcommitted to the run. So at least the Bills, as of this point, have not let Davis Mills beat them. But man, this is a game where you would love to have a number 1 receiver, and they don't have it. We look at that game a few years ago. It was a similar thing, right? The receivers were bad after Diggs left, and they couldn't get the offense going. Much of the same this year. And what's something the Bills have not tried all game? A deep ball. Maybe that's where you got to do. The Texans are sending pressure. They're playing 1 safety high on a lot of these plays. Send your fastest guy out wide, loft run over. If you overthrow it, you overthrow it. If they pick it and end up at the 2, it's an arm punt, right? You got to try something because nothing is working. 1st and 10 from their own 38. 9 minutes to go. They send a blitz. Allen up top. Caught by Dawson Knox. 5-yard gain. We'll take it. Out of bounds. But it's not going to matter. Yeah, Kincaid would have been big tonight in the middle of the field. And he's probably going to be out another week, although long week, I don't know. 2 to 4 weeks was the diagnosis with him, and he's been out 2. 2nd and 5, Allen. All day to throw, and now he's sacked. Just nobody open for him. All day to throw it. Sacked again. He's got to start getting out of the pocket, too, though. I mean, good things happen when Allen's out of the pocket. He just doesn't. Spencer Brown beat by Anderson again. But it really wasn't Anderson. It was the inside guy. I mean, that's where you got to bounce outside if you're Allen. But nobody open. He's so much hesitation this year. And it's, again, I don't know if it's him not trusting himself or if nobody's open. But how many times do we see Allen go, oh, no, sack, 3rd and 12. All out blitz. Screenplay. Shakir has a little bit of open space. Makes a guy miss. Makes another guy miss. There he goes. Down the sidelines. Khalil Shakir. Out of bounds at, I think, the 15 or 20. What a play by Shakir. 2 guys miss. 44-yard gain for Khalil Shakir. A great play call, and it shouldn't have worked out at all. It should have been a 5 or 6 yard gain. Shakir, 2 guys miss. Gabe Davis down the field blocking. If he was able to block a little more downfield, it would have been a touchdown. But what a play! Wow. There we go, Shakir. So they got to the 20. They faked the wide receiver screen, and down Allen goes again. A 7-yard loss. Tim Settle. That play was a wide receiver screen, and it was covered. Joe Brady is just, wide receiver screen, halfback toss, halfback dive, wide receiver screen. Like if you guys know that meme where it's like the button, it's like wide receiver screen, and the guy's sweating not to push it. That's Joe Brady every play. Jeez. I mean, what are you doing? Screen. 2nd and 15. Out wide. There we go. Caught by Shakir. Now it'll be 3rd and 10. They get back to the line of scrimmage. Sure. And it's 4-down territory again. You can't kick a field goal here. It's 4-down territory. 2 plays to get 10 yards. And they're going to try to pressure Allen again on this play. And this is where you could take advantage of a team that just sends all-out blitzes, but no receivers get open. If you had a good route runner out there, he'd be wide open on a slant or a quick move outside. Here we go, 3rd and 10. And they're in their normal 3rd and 10 stand with Ty Johnson out wide. No surprises what's coming here. Allen, sack. No, he gets it out, incomplete. I mean, why is there no check down? Now they are going to kick a field goal. Okay. Yeah, I guess you got to kick a field goal with getting nothing there. Unbelievable. Yeah, Spencer Brown, no blocking at all there. But as a quarterback, you got to know, roll out one way. Good job by Allen to get the ball out, not take the sack. But field goal, you got to hit this. Spencer Brown's hurting on the sidelines bad. This is kind of where if I was head coach, I'd punt here and try to pin him at like the 5 because a field goal really does you no good. And you're going to kick it off and they're going to be at the 35 anyway. Field goal up and good. 19-23. Missed the extra point. Difference of the game because if you didn't, you would have kicked the field goal last drive. Kicked the field goal here, would have been tied. 4-point game. Bills still have all 3 timeouts. Far from over, but geez. Commercial break. Defense needs one more big stand. Yeah, I agree, Victor. You got to start rolling out of the pocket right away. If the Bills get the ball back and have a chance to win it or tie it with a touchdown, I think Spencer Brown's time is done. I appreciate him trying to stick it out, but I think he's got to go to the bench, and you got to let a backup try to at least hold him for a second or 2 longer because they're just going right around him. I mean, you have that big Shakir play, and what does Joe Brady call? Wide receiver screen. Ends up being a sack because it's not open because that's the only passing play they know how to do. And everybody in the league is ready for it. And that's it. Ends the drive right there. How do you not just run the ball on that play? Or try something. I don't understand how that's your only play call. Again, Joe Brady calls an offense like a quarterback coach would. How do I get checkdowns? How do I get yards? He calls the offense as if he was playing quarterback, an unathletic quarterback who needs completions. That's not who he's dealing with Josh Allen. I mean, if I was Brandon Beane, I don't care what McDermott says. Dable's my offensive coordinator, and Dan Orlovsky's my quarterback coach next year. That's what I'm doing. Now Prater's going to kick it off. Only 5:44 to go. Good kick, fielded at the 4. He's going to run it out wide. It's going to take a lot of time off the clock, but good tackle. Solomon down at the 19. And he chucks the ball at him. No flag. Texans always in these one possession games. Yep. Yeah, right. I don't know what they do at practice. I don't know. Bills have all 3 timeouts. They mark them down at the 21. So, yeah, 1st and 10. It's going to be play action. Bills defense was ready for it. They go out wide, and it's complete. Higgins catch. Tre'Davious White on the coverage. Absolutely cooked. He got near the sidelines. Tre'Davious White, man. Let's see. Yeah, definitely complete. Good toe drag by Higgins. Jeez, Tre'Davious White. Ugh. I'll keep the clock moving. 1st and 10 again. Now they're going to run it up the middle. Bills defense all ready for that. No gain on that play. 2nd and 10. Bills are not going to use their timeouts just yet. Bills were all out run defense on that play. Milano, good job, and Ogunjobi on that play. Whew. All right, it's go time for this defense. 2nd and 10. They're going to throw it. Out wide, caught. Tre'Davious White on the coverage, gain of 5. 3rd and 5, here we go. Can they get a stop? Higgins again on the catch. They're just picking on Tre'Davious White, whoever's matched up with him. 3rd and 6, they mark. Clock is under 4 minutes now. Can they get a stop? You know they're going to throw it. Wouldn't be if you're the Bills, do you send pressure? I don't know. It's not long enough to send too many guys, but your zone coverage isn't going to deflect the ball anyway. They send a blitz. Taron Johnson, what a tackle! Only a gain of 4. That's going to run the clock down into the 2s, but the Texans are going to have to punt. Watch the fake punt. They did try it earlier. What a job by Taron Johnson. A really bad game for him, but big time play. And here we go. The Bills are going to have a little bit of time left to go on a game-winning drive. Tommy Townsend, we know his talent as a punter. Let's see if he could pin the Bills deep. Townsend punts it. And Shakir's going to let that go. Oh, it takes a good bounce, and Shakir's going to pick it up then and runs out of bounds at the 13. We're at the 18, I think, 18-yard line. So not terrible at field position. Okay, bad bounce for Townsend. Here comes the Bills offense. 2:48 to go, all 3 timeouts. How they're still in this game, I don't know. This has been the worst offensive game I've seen. Their only offensive touchdown was the opening drive. Spencer Brown, there he is on the sidelines, not in, as I predicted. Ryan Van Denmark in the game. You know they're going to try to tee off on him. 1st and 10. Allen out wide to Cook. Good play, tripped up, gain of 6. That could have been big if he didn't get tripped up. Good play, though. Quick check down. And if you're the Bills, you want to wind this clock down. You don't care about the clock. You need a touchdown. You don't want the Texans to touch the ball again. The clock doesn't really matter. You got all 3 timeouts. Last play before the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 4. They're going to run it to Cook up the middle, and he's stopped. 2-yard gain. That'll be the 2-minute warning. Again, same situation. You got 2 plays to get 2 yards. We'll see what they can do after the 2-minute warning. Whew. Here we go. Can they find some plays in the back of the playbook? Keep in mind the Texans defense is really good, but I don't know, man. All comes down to this. This is very, very similar to that last game against the Texans. So similar. Brady does have a chance to redeem himself, but the issue with that is, again, we're in the same situation. 3rd and 2. You need 2 yards on 2 plays to keep this going. Whew. Well, they've given themselves a chance. Shout out to the defense. The Texans have played very scared football on offense, and the Bills have been able to stop it. Can the Bills' offense make some noise here in the final 2 minutes? It's 4 down territory the rest of the way, just no sacks. It's so nerve-wracking, but again, it's not a playoff game, right? Like, the Bills still are in a decent spot if they lose this game. It's not end of the world. But it's certainly not a good position to be in. 3rd and 1, they're going to say. It's a long one. Same exact situation as last time. Same exact. With Ryan Van Denmark in the game on one of the best edge rushers in the game in Will Anderson. That's a long one. And now the referee's going to talk to Allen. Oh, the play clock's not working. Said the play clock's not working and they're down to referee, so this game is pure chaos now. They said the back judge will man the play clock, kind of just, I don't know how that works. Third and 1. Here we go. Allen to throw, quick throw out wide. Shakir's got the first down and more out at the 35. Nice little rub route. Good stuff. 1:55, that'll stop the clock. 1st and 10. All right. Now we got a little reset, right? Now it's like, all right, 1st and 10. And it's all going to have to be quick throws, right? Allen to throw again. This time he's got some time underneath the Ty Johnson. Makes a guy miss. 9-yard gain. Okay. Keep that clock moving, too. We don't care about the clock. Keep it moving. 2nd and 1. They fake a run. It's going to be a tight end screen up top. Gain of 2. That'll get you the first down. Now you're starting to worry about the clock a little bit. 1:25. Now the play clock's back on, but I think it's off. I don't think the play clock is lined up correctly. It skipped to like 9 seconds. Oh, and a drop ball. Elijah Moore looking for pass interference, doesn't get it. And I think the Bills just got screwed because the play clock started at 16 seconds. And Osiris Torrance is hurt. Looks like he got hit in a very sensitive area. And you don't want an injury. That'll make you use a timeout. So the play clock just absolutely screwed the Bills on that play. And they're telling them, don't put the play clock on. We are administering it. So the Texans just screwed the Bills. 2nd and 10. Allen all day to throw. Now he's going to run around in the pocket. Down he goes. Sacked again. Nobody is open. Throw it away. Jeez, Allen, what are you doing? Now the Bills got to waste a timeout. And they do. 7 sacks. Allen has to throw that away. Jeez. How is nobody open, and why does he not throw it away? I mean, everything is covered. Throw the ball away. Two plays to get a bunch of yards. Jeez. You have to just roll Allen out. Immediate rollout. It has to be a college offense from now on. 7 sacks. That's his highest in his career. He's been sacked 3 times before. 3rd and 20. How about you draw pass interference or something? Haven't been able to do that all day. Jeez, what a nightmare. And it's going to be a hold. Allen sacked again. And Allen's hurt. This offensive line is a joke. Allen is down hurt. Shaking out his right hand again. It's that turf burn. Let's see if they accept it. I mean, this game is pretty much over. And they say it's declined. 4th and 24 coming up. And we go back to that 1st and 10 play where they set the play clock and the Bills rushed it. What a joke. This game has been just meat. How do you not have a backup ref ready on a Thursday night game? They're down a ref. They don't have the play clock. Say what you want about anything else. But 1st and 10, the drive just completely ends. Because 4th and 27. And since the Bills had to use a timeout, this will be game if they don't get this. What a nightmare game. Empty backfield. You just got to chuck it up and hope. You have to get a throw off. And they do. They do a little pitch play. And oh my gosh, they got it! What a play! What a play! Oh my gosh! A pitch play. Palmer to Shakir. What in the world did we just watch? All right, Joe Brady. All right, buddy. You got no right doing that sort of cheese after calling the single worst game in Bills history. To the 30, or to the 25, still far from over. 2 timeouts, 41 seconds. Come on, boys. And now the Texans call a timeout. 41 seconds. They waste a timeout. What did we just watch? All right. We've been here before, and they don't get in, though. So the 25-yard line, 40, you got plenty of time, 2 timeouts. against the top defensive group, they're able to pull out that, but they can't do anything else. Hear me out here. 1st and 10, I don't mind a run play. I do not mind it. You have 2 timeouts. You have plenty of time. They're going to be expecting a throw. Try a run. Maybe try to get 8 yards. I don't know. In any other game, I'm feeling confident right now. This one, 0 confidence. They're at the 26. I would run it. They're not gonna. They're going to try something out wide. They're throwing. Allen, end zone. To Gabe Davis. They say incomplete. It's caught by Gabe Davis, but they say incomplete. 2nd and 10. What? Oh, it would have been down at the 1. What? How did he not get down? Oh, definitely out of bounds. Oh my gosh, the fade route to Gabe Davis. Oh, that would have been nice. Oh. Wow. 2nd and 10. Oh, they went for it all there and almost got it. 6 seconds on the play clock. Now they try the screen to Ty Johnson. Okay, gain of 8. Now call it timeout. 28 seconds, they call timeout. 3rd down and 1. You probably just try to get the 1st down, something quick out. Now the clock's starting to become a concern. Oh my gosh, that would have been nice to Gabe Davis. I would have been freaking out. Oh. 2 plays to get a yard. You got 1 timeout still, so you can run it if you want. All right, boys. Here we go. No sacks, no penalties. Got to play smart football. 3rd and 1. They're expecting. I wouldn't mind going end zone here. They're expecting something quick. Maybe you go up and out. Maybe you go QB run. Allen's hurting. 3rd and 1. They're audibling. Shakir's in the backfield. Peak zone bubble. They fake it up top to him. Go down low. It's blocked. Oh my gosh. Will Anderson, of course, and now it's 4th and 1 for the game. You got to go for the 1st down on that play. Come on, you can't pull out the trickery there. Unreal. 4th and 1 for the game. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Getting all of this for nothing. 4th and 1. Jeez. Oh my gosh. 4th and 1. Jeez, you needed it there. Oh, the Deion Dawkins false start. What are you doing? They're taking too long. Jeez. Getting too tricky. Now it's 4th and 6. That's going to be the game, probably. Come on. Deion Dawkins. 4th and 6. Yeah, now they're not going to get it for sure. Jeez. What an effort. For nothing. And they throw it over the middle. Picked off. What is that play call? Why do you have a guy in motion in the backfield? There's a flag! There's a flag! Hang on. What are they going to call? No, they're talking about it. Oh, geez. Offensive pass interference. Penalty decline, game over. These refs are a joke. Game over. Joe Brady sold the game again. What is that play call on 4th and 6? You got 2 guys in the backfield just motioning. What? What are you doing? 7 and 4. Pissed away the game. Oh my gosh. Look at this. 2 players are not even close. He had wide open. Dawson Knox. It would have been a penalty anyway. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Terrible game from Josh Allen. Terrible game from Joe Brady. Jeez. So many wasted opportunities. Kneel down, game over. The Bills moved to 7-4. This team is a joke right now. They should have easily been able to steal that game at the end. And Joe Brady on 3rd and 1 calls the most complex nonsense play, and then Deion Dawkins gets a false start, and that's ball game. Joe Brady should be locked out of the facility tomorrow. Wow, what a joke. Well, that'll do it. Have a good one, fellas. Stream will end. Adios.